in my whole journey of this whole process, it's only so main person was No ID, um, and Doug Infinite. Those were my two people, you know. And this was in the '90s. This when there was no, internet. It wasn't no sending files. This was, tape your beat, put it on a cassette tape, and I would drive all the way to Crete to his house to get there to play it for him. Or sometime I couldn't play it for him because, I get there, yeah, be there playing his music, and it was so good, I would be ashamed to even play mine. You know what I'm saying, at that time. So, those are the two guys that influenced me the most, and even to this day, still give me, a lot of the cheat codes, and and they actually empowered me and changed my life, musically, and on a personal level. Like we got 20 something years, and I done watched the growth from every level, from then, and I can never thank them enough for what they've given me. Absolutely.
For me, I would say, man, I got I have some of the similar influences. Being No ID, early on, Kanye. No, we come from a different school of thought from that era. Whether you were a producer or a writer. Now, I remember sometimes as a kid recording at No ID house, and it happened to me once at Kanye's house where you be in the booth, man, and in your mind, you snapping and pouring your heart out. But then you come out of the booth and be like, where the fuck is Dion at? Where the fuck is Jay? They be done left and walked out of the room because the artist just ain't getting it right. And they be like, man, come back another day. That shit ain't right. Or being able to just take somebody saying, hey, man, that shit ain't good. You need to go back and redo it. We live in an era now where a lot of the younger artists and newer artists, as an artist, we all sensitive about our art, whether you're a painter, a rapper, producer, poet. A lot of us are sensitive about our art, but we grew up in an era and a certain school of thought where there wasn't no room for that. It was about the culture and advancing the culture. So if it wasn't good enough, hey, it just wasn't good enough. Don't do it over.
Hey, I will say this, and I will say that's how it was. If it wasn't right, man, you got ate up, man. Like, that's how it was. Like, it wasn't it ain't like this shit today. You got ate up. If it wasn't good, you better not play it. You know what I'm saying? You better not play it because they gonna tell you, oh man, that ain't where turn it off. That's how it was. No doubt about it.
Man, it's important, especially with dealing with the youth, man. I remember Tyree was 16 years old?
Yep.
And Chris reached out to me. He said, man, because his dad is Hashim. Remember, his dad is Hashim Hakeem from the Backstage piece. So Hashim was talking to Chris. We all grew up brothers in the mosque. So Hashim was communicating with Chris about whatever. And I guess he left his email open one time, and Tyree emailed Chris like, hey, I'm Hashim's son. I rap too. He said he added a song, whatever now.
Yeah.
And I remember Tyree as a little kid. He's always been confident. He used to come in the gymnasium at the mosque when he was a little kid. We'd be in there shooting, and he would be like, at the time I was doing my thing here in radio, and he would be like, I want to battle you. And I'll be like, man, who is this little dude? That was like, you look, this Hashim's son. But to look at him now, man, it's been a journey, and something I learned as an adult and as a counselor and mentor to the youth in school is that oftentimes as the elders, we talk at the youth or we talk down to the youth. We standing at the top of our hill and we shouting down the hill to the young people. Whereas that creates this, what we call a generation gap, because something is lost in our voices as the sound travels from the top of the hill to the bottom. So what we try to do as big brothers is walk down the hill, meet the youth where they at, and show them how we got to the top of the hill. And walk them to the top and show them as opposed to just being at the top. Hey, do this, do that. Like when Chris was saying, he was in the class. You know, that's the type of language that we use when he said he was in the class with with other people. Like, you know, when we look at young talented brothers and sisters like Tyree or Kia Abdul and some of the other artists we work with, when we see them traveling down roads that we've traveled before, we let them know, hey, we took that class already. You know,
right.
You could read our Cliff Notes and graduate sooner, or
right.
you could keep doing what you're doing and hope you pass.
Right.
You might fail, but hope you pass.
Hope you pass. Right. Right.
So for me, that's a big piece is as big brothers and sisters to meet the youth where they at. You know?
Yeah. And I want to say this. You know, when you talk about that class, you know, you had, as far as the hip hop in Chicago, you know, you only had the first artist that got a deal, you know, was Common, right? He was like he was for the hip hop, he was the first one that crossed, you know, and everybody it was No ID, and then you had Traction, right? And everybody learned from either one of them two people, even if they didn't learn from them directly, right? So you had Dion had Doug over there, he had Kanye over there, he had Andy. It was all kind of people coming in and out of his house all the time. And then Kanye went taught a Bugs or Brian Miller, or it just goes down like a pyramid, you know what I'm saying? But they all came from that source, you know what I'm saying? And I used to be over there sitting on the couch. They had started years before me, but I was there, you know, too, you know what I'm saying? So we all took pieces, and we appreciated the knowledge that was coming from our mentors. And this generation is a little different. They just want to get up and go, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, it took a while for me to understand the way they think and why they feel like, man, I'm gonna just put it out like it is, you know. And it's like, man, it ain't done, you know. But it ain't mine, it's done. And hip hop is so powerful. People hear it and they like it, you know. You're like, man, they like that. And here we are taking all this time trying to make this thing, you know what I'm saying, perfect. So I had to adapt to some of the things that they were doing, right? And then get them to adapt to some of the things that we're doing, you know, so that we do. So we can meet somewhere in the middle, because they get their music out fast and they on to the next. And I think that for us, we should do that. And the guy told me, he said, man, but it ain't gonna be good. I said, listen, we know what we're doing. It's always gonna be good if we put it. It don't matter, because our bar is set up a lot higher. You know what I'm saying? So even if we rushed and did it, it's still gonna be better than a lot of this stuff that you're hearing out here anyway. To just go on and get it out. So I think kind of meeting halfway and creating an environment, because for them to kind of learn the way we learn. I think sometimes we don't have the same environment. We just telling them. You know what I'm saying? But coming to Dion's house and being there and all the producers over there and all that created a certain type of environment. I think that wanted a culture that we wanted to kind of like, man, be a part of. I think we recreating that culture. I think it helps. I think it'll help also.
Just to kind of piggyback on what Chris said, man, that was some powerful shit as a kid, man.
Yeah.
You know, sitting in Dion's basement in Sauk Village, and we would just look around. We'd be in the room with Common, Kanye, Bugs, you know,
everybody,
PLCs, everybody, and just to look at where everybody is now. What we're doing, what we're attempting or working diligently to do now is recreate that synergy and energy where it's the OGs and the youngsters in the room, and it's all out. Put your best foot forward. We working on this song. Who want to be on this song? Raise your hand. Okay, everybody write a verse. If your shit ain't good enough, you don't make the song. Everybody get a chance to lay their shit.
Right.
And sometimes I'm a stickler on that, and Sick One got to scale me back, like, calm down, chill out. You got to let them lay the shit. You can't critique it before they get it out first. So, but when y'all get it out, if it ain't good enough, only the strong survive. That's how we was raised in this shit, man.